What is going on? I come here to bring you the very first episode of my newest mock building series. Now, as you see from the title, this is on the planet of Kerkoidia. Now, if you don't know what Kerkoidia is, it's probably the majority of you. It is a savannah planet, savannas and grasslands. And if you remember from the Clone Wars TV show, you had Clone Wars movie. You had General Worm Loathsome that met with Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's from Kerkoidia. I know that doesn't tell you what the planet's like, but as you can see, it is on a 2x3 of gray base plates. It's going to be the biggest mock I've built yet. I'm extremely excited. Real quick, these are the main players in the game. We got Ayla Secura with Commander Bly. Now this is a custom Commander Bly. This is not the official Lego one yet, but he will be swapped out for that. Luminara and Commander Greed. So 327th and 41st Elite. Those are my two favorite Clone Wars factions. Biggest mock yet. Might as well throw my two favorite factions in. Now, as you see over here, we have the Brick Vault AAT. This is going to be the first mock I make with all, I don't want to say custom, but all non-Lego set vehicles. So if we look over the prints real quick, makeshift prints here. We have two AATs. This is definitely not to scale, I will say. Two AATs, a Corporate Alliance tank droid, and a gunship. Now, if you look, we have a road, kind of a city. There won't be this many buildings. This is just to capture an idea. A city wall, and then kind of terrain-ish. Not ish, the terrain. So right here is going to be the terrain, the city wall, and then inside of the city. As for the terrain, because that's going to be the first part that I work on, because as of recording this little segment here, I just placed a bricklink order for more of these colors right here, which will be the next segment we'll jump into. You'll see me opening up the bricklink order. It is coming from Lithuania, so it's going to take a minute to get here. So I'll probably have a little bit of this built up already, so it'll be a good update next up. But these are the main colors that I am going to be using. Green and olive green with medium nougat. Those are going to be the main colors for the terrain. And then obviously we can't go without my dark tan. I love me some dark tan. And then dark brown. Dark tan and dark brown are mainly in there because I'm going to have craters from like artillery shells kind of scattered about. So that's obviously supposed to show the unearthed earth. And then the main savannah color scheme I see, that works, I think. We'll see how it is. I don't know how many episodes this series is going to be, and you guys know me, I don't know how frequent these episodes are going to be, but we're going to, as you see, we're in a new studio. We're going to get building, and let's jump right on into that bricklink order, because you guys don't have to wait, unlike me. So let's dive right on in. All right, so two things were wrong about that last clip. First off, I said it was from Lithuania. That's not true. It was actually from Norway. Here's your business card if you guys are interested. Right there. Give them a look. Second off, I said it was going to take a minute to get here because it was coming from overseas. This was the fastest bricklink package I think I have ever received. It was 3 days in the mail. So I didn't even have time to start building. Let's go over this real quick and then we'll get right on into the building. So I got some 6x6 olive green plates and some medium nougat plates. I got a 16x16 olive green. I don't have a whole lot of olive green. That's why a lot of this stuff is olive green. Just kind of as like a Kickstarter because this isn't going to cover the whole mock, obviously. But some 1x3s, some 3x3s, and some more 1x2s, all olive green. I already had some medium nougat 2x2s, but this is just kind of like a restock. And then some 2x4s in dark brown. I originally thought I was going to use dark brown as like the base of the crater, kind of like the deepest part, like the mud and stuff. But I actually think it's going to be for the farmland back there in the corner, to show like that fertile ground. Anyway, I also picked up some Black Falcon, like medieval knights. These aren't knights, like medieval soldiers. I'm thinking about starting to pick up a lot more Black Falcons and some other factions maybe, because I might be doing some mini MOCs, some medieval mini MOCs in between here. Maybe like a Building the MOCs episode might be a, like a, I don't know, little outpost or a little section of a castle or something. But that's not obviously for this. This is Lego Star Wars. So let's get right on into some of that terrain work. We got a little bit of work done here. As you see, I currently have the AAT kind of propped up somewhat similar to how I want it. Crashed here in this impact crater because my plan is to have maybe the 41st Elite kind of crouched up underneath this AAT. I'm going to build it up a little more so it looks a little bit more natural. Kind of crouched up underneath this AAT, shooting at the other AAT and droids that are coming through this farm field. Now this farm field is probably going to be the next section that I work on. I don't know quite how I want to do it just yet. It'll probably be the last segment of this episode. Probably come up to about here. That might be a little much. And it's going to be kind of more natural than a curve like that. But I'm going to have the AAT, another one, coming through here, kind of plowing down the crops as it's coming towards the city. Now, this here is the next thing I want to discuss, because I can't build any more this way until I get this road kind of figured out. And I'm going to have the road right about here going through the gates and into the city. Now, I say gates, it's really just going to be one kind of grand archway. And about right there is where I want the two towers, two sides of the entrances. And I have it, or my plan is to have it just wide enough to fit kind of one of these through, because it seems practical. I feel like an AAT is probably a medium-sized, average, I don't know, craft vehicle that could be coming through here. So it's kind of going to be mapped around this, about this size, and it'll come over here. It'll kind of start to curve. I'm going to have a crack in the wall that droids and just droids are going to be hopping through. And then the wall is going to continue off that way, off the base plates and stuff. This here, I realized very quickly that my prints that I draw up, which is just a general idea, is definitely not to scale. So we'll see how I play with that. But so far, this is the plan. Let's get right into that farmland and then probably the outro. Alrighty. So I did get a little bit done since the last update, as you can see. It has been a little bit since I recorded that, because I believe the last part was just kind of these two craters. So I ended up taking the olive green to the rest of the way and going over that way. And I very quickly ran out of 6x6 in olive green. I ran out of olive green a lot quicker than I thought I was going to. So I also realized extremely quickly how hard it is to get olive green plates for terrain. So I wish I knew that before. Anyway, I think this looks phenomenal. I really do like this color scheme. I think this is kind of perfect for a savannah build. I've never done a savannah. I was trying to do something different other than my normal dark brown, reddish brown, and like regular green build. So this here I think is perfect. We're gonna keep going with it. I just got a pick a brick order in from Lego, but that's gonna be in the next update, so you'll see that then. But I got kind of the rough layout of this farmland ish that I kind of want. I don't know if this fence here is going to be permanent, but it's kind of what we're rolling with right now. Now, The AAT, I know the AAT has been kind of like the highlight of this episode. I've been referencing this thing quite a bit, but this here is kind of like the permanent spot. This is where this is going to go in the mock. Now I am going to have, I've been scurrying through and getting all my bars, 3 lengths, 4 lengths, the 6 lengths. And I'm going to do the classic, kind of like the wheat look right on top of that. Coming through here, I did elevate this a little bit, 2 bricks, but I am going to terrain on top of this, like a greeble, and build this up on top of this. So that coming through, the AAT coming through right here, it's going to have like crushed crops. We'll have the fresh crops kind of growing up and over here in the front to make it look like, you know, he's barreling through the farm field, because, I mean, it's the separatists. They don't really seem to care. I just put these guys up for, these guys' camouflage is actually kind of crazy. Camouflage actually does work. That's awesome. So we're going to get that built up, and then the AAT will kind of like cruise right through. I know I just said that, but this is what we're working with. And then I did get a little bit of this road work done. I kind of got the angle set that I want. Oh, the lighting's kind of crazy, but I did get the angle set that I want. It's utilizing, I don't know what angle that is. 75, I don't know, 80. But we got these pieces here set. This here set. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, this here has been hurting my brain quite a bit. I don't know how I want to do the road, because I already have this built, and the current angle takes like this part right through what I built, and I don't really want to rip that up. So I'm kind of playing with this idea of having it curve, but I don't know how I want it to curve. And I want to keep this height, so I got to bring all this up. This is kind of still, I knew this part was going to be a little challenging. And I'm going to use techniques I haven't really experimented with before. This whole angle thing, I really don't do angles like this. So this is a great learning experience. But this is what we're working with. Get this thing set up on an angle. Now the wall is going to be set on top of this, but I'm going to have some tiling, so it's going to be a little bit easier, just jumper plates. But this stuff I kind of want, you know, in the ground. That's why I have this. I'm going to get some, what is it? Tan, dark tan, to be kind of like the under, like the dark dirt. Then this will be on top of it. So just imagine that dark tan like that. And then we'll have olive green on top of that. So it's going to be down, and this road is going to be ripped up and torn apart quite a bit, because I need to get the footprint down and the terrain built around it. Then I'm going to rip it back up so that I can put, you know, snot designs in here. I don't quite know how I want to do that yet. I do have this whole thing here elevated up by a brick. Look at that crazy technique. You set that thing back down on top of there. But that's kind of what we're working with. Really, the main stuff's going to be happening next episode. I know this is kind of eventful for a first episode, but let's get right on into that outro. And maybe I can give you guys some scheduling on what I want to do next, or when the next episode's coming out. So let's dive right on in. Alrighty, guys. I think that's going to wrap up this episode. I think it's been a pretty eventful and good one as terms of starting a new mock go, at least with kind of like the planning stages of a mock. I've already started working on clips for the second update, mainly that pick a brick haul that I mentioned last clip, and I've done a little bit more with that farm field back there. But my main focus for the next update video is probably going to be the road and the walls. So I guess stay tuned for that. I'm not too sure when that's going to come out just yet. It's entirely based off of, you know, how much work I actually get done on this. But I guess with that being said, stay tuned for the next video, and you guys have yourselves a very nice day. Thank you.